Is Mega Man X a solemn handshake with platformer tradition, or a neon-glazed pop-punk rebellion that snatched its ancestor's blue helmet and spray-painted an X across the visor? Rhetorical, obviously. You can smell the hair gel from here. When Capcom's 16-bit debut blasted onto the Super Nintendo in January 1994, it upended expectations the way a Maverick android upends laboratory safety protocols. Underrated? Only if you spent the mid-90s under a Sega Tower of Power, blissfully ignorant of shoulder button dash. Overrated? Tell that to my D-pad calluses. Fundamental? In the same way Oxygen is fundamental. Without X, the modern action platformer lexicon would lack wall slides, persistent stage damage, and boss names that sound like energy drinks sold exclusively at demolition derbies. Ignore it and you'll forever ask why designers gush about dash jump rhythm while you're still double tapping forward like it's Contra. Historical context, Capcom's early 90s schedule looked like a pizza menu written in neon. Street Fighter II expansions by the fistful, Disney tie-ins for every VHS re-release, and 6 numbered Mega Man games on the NES, plus a soccer spin-off that no one requested yet everyone rented. But by 93, the Super Nintendo's 256 color palette made 8-bit sprites feel like yesterday's newsprint. Silicon pushed Mode 7 Road Rash, pre-rendered Gorilla Fur, and LucasArts adventure game sarcasm. Capcom's Blue Bomber, still charming, risked being typecast as your kid brother's hero. Producer Takuro Fujiwara, planner Keiji Inafune, and a fresh team were tasked with re-engineering humanity's favorite Robo-Boy for a louder era. The design brief: darker plot, slicker controls, bigger sprites. Hold the Dr. Wily. Japan unwrapped Rockman X on 17 December 1993. North America hit start on 19 January 1994. Europe endured a slow PAL drip until May, proving once more that 50 Hz teaches patience. Magazine spreads flashed concept art of a leaner, angular X, and his red-armored mentor Zero, brandishing a beam saber like a roadie who mugged a Jedi. Marketing framed it as the Genesis-era answer to Extreme. New console, new stakes, same underlying heartbeat. Meanwhile, the NES would still receive Mega Man 6 in Japan that same week. Chronological whiplash, courtesy of Capcom's dual pipeline. My haunt, the fluorescent buzz dungeon called XP Arcade, devoured Capcom CPS2 cabinets, Cadillacs and dinosaurs, Super Street Fighter 2. Yet the chatter at the soda fountain spiraled around one 13 megabit cartridge. Did you see Mega Man wall kick up a tower? There's a secret Hadouken if you cartwheel a minecar section enough times. We convened around a software etc. kiosk, hogging the SNES controller until mall security coughed. Watching X's boots ignite into blue afterburners felt like the moment Gravity signed a non-disclosure agreement. Capcom's lineup in '94 was a buffet of cat-popped platforms. Demon's Crest vamped through gothic ruins. Breath of Fire 2 kindled the RPG crowd. Mega Man X delivered the swagger. Unlike the mainline series' Saturday morning vibe, X leaned into adolescent angst. Humanity's synthetic children, dubbed Reploids, face a Maverick uprising led by Sigma, a former hero turned Chrome Lucifer. Cue synth guitars, Digital Thunder, Mentor Sacrifice, existential dread. Hey kids, who needs serial mascots when your idol can existentially crisis monologue mid-explosion mechanics? Capcom used the opening highway stage as a playable syllabus. Sirens flash as hovercars burn. X dashes, slowly for now under collapsing freeway segments. Mechanized gun turrets fling energy harpoons. Midway, a hulking B-blader gunship dives. Artillery blazing. Your first taste of bullet gales that dwarf NES limitations. Beat it and the road continues, teaching you to wall jump off barrier pillars before a second B-blader crash lands. The final cutscene drops Zero, ponytail whipping in sprite wind, to curb stomp Vile's ride armor and deliver the pep talk that launched 1,000 AMVs. You're just not strong enough yet. Capcom basically inserted a shonen anime cold open into a platformer and mic dropped. From there, choice blooms. 8 Maverick stages, each an organic theme park. I always start at Chill Penguin because his Sub-Zero base houses Dr. Light's first capsule, the Dash Boots. Once those thrusters fuse to your souls, Mega Man X transforms. The dash shortens jump arcs, enables long-distance triangle jumps, wall kick plus dash mid-air, and chains with charged shots to keep enemies spawn-locked in animation hell. Platforming goes from Spartan NES stride to parkour rave. Suddenly X feels less like Astro Boy's cousin and more like a cyber ninja rocket skater. Stages ripple with consequence. Storm Eagle's airport teeters atop a 7E dusk skyline. Defeat him and his airship nosedives into Spark Mandrill's power plant, smashing windows and triggering rolling blackouts that flicker the entire level. Chill Penguin's winter blast freezes Flame Mammoth's foundry solid, snuffing deadly lava flows and making the conveyor belt safer. These aren't mere palette swaps. They're environmental rewrites that reward strategic ordering. Decades before open world states became dinner table jargon. Each level gifts a weapon plus secret spoils. 8 heart tanks extend life bars, 4 sub-tanks bank spare energy, ride armor pods, grant mech suits to punch enemy carriers, and Dr. Light's remaining capsules provide helmet, armor, and X-Buster upgrades. The headgear lets X headbutt certain bricks, a comedic nod to Mario, the armor halves damage, and the arm upgrade adds a 4th X-Buster charge tier that fires twin plasma crescendos. Every special weapon also gains a golden ticket hypercharge. The rolling shield becomes a bubble shield of invincibility. The boomerang cutter enlarges into a quadruple boomerang canopy, and Storm Tornado morphs into a screen-wide hurricane fit for a Weather Channel apocalypse. Then there is the legendary secret, Capcom's mischievous love letter to Street Fighter 2. Collect every upgrade, keep full health, ride Armored Armadillo's mining cart to the final ledge 4 times, and a 5th leap triggers a capsule with Dr. Light cosplaying as Ryu. He bestows the Hadouken. Input down right arrow to plus shoot, and X shouts Hadouken in a tinny sample, releasing a white Kai blast that one-shots everything including Sigma's final form. Pulling it off requires impeccable quarter circle precision. Messing up invites ridicule from friends on the couch. Boss encounters ratchet difficulty yet reward creativity. Spark Mandrill pounds fists, causing electrical shockwaves. Shatter him with Ice Shot and he freezes mid-animation, a glitch turned canonical weakness. Flame Mammoth flips conveyor direction, then pukes tar. Cool him with Storm Tornado to halt nozzle spew. Boomer Coanger teleports around with Ninja Blink energy. Slice through him with Homing Torpedo for comedic stun loops. Launch Octopus's Whirlpool Vacuum pulls you into spike walls unless you slice off his tentacles with the Boomerang Cutter, drastically nerfing his offense. Each exploit feels earned, not cheap, because you still have to survive the gauntlet preceding the boss door. Pogo-propelled Metars, giant robot fish, drill-nose beetles that dig scaffolding. Capcom's sprite artisans never met a frame they didn't animate. Sigma's Fortress layers 4 stages of cruelty. First, you infiltrate via collapsing spire and square off with Vile inside a ride armor. Zero sacrifices himself. Scripted tragedy, no rescue mod exists. Blasting Vile's energy core so X can avenge him. The fortress mixes new mini-bosses, Rangda Bangda, a sentient skull wall that gates progression with a full boss rush. The penultimate climb is a vertical conveyor where laser turrets guard tiny platforms. It's the SNES equivalent of spinning blade tower climbs in Ninja Gaiden. The finale sees Sigma trading saber swings in Phase 1, sending Veljarder, his Cyber Rottweiler, as Phase 2, then merging with a hovering mechanical throne for Phase 3. Only pixel-perfect dash wall climbs, fully charged rolling shield bubbles, or that cheeky Hadouken slam the coffin shut. Capcom's sound team, led by Setsuo Yamamoto and Yuki Iwai, cooked crunchy guitars through the SDSP's sample RAM. Spark Mandrill's track thrums like stadium rock fused with FM synth drums. Storm Eagle's soaring melody is still sample pack fodder for indie devs seeking heroic sky level. Audio layering even changes mid-game. If Mandrill's blackout triggers, the track restarts minus treble to mimic power surge. Visuals push sprite counts with parallax backdrops. Look for looming tower silhouettes behind Armored Armadillo's dusk mine or Tornado's purpling skyline as Search Reploid's zipline overhead. Capcom's proprietary compression routines squeezed extra animation into 13 megabits. Digital origami. Legacy and influence. The wall dash jump triangle alone rewired platformer architecture. Before X, verticality often relied on ladders or scripted lifts. After X, designers embraced layered movement. Team Cherry cited Mega Man X while designing Hollow Knight's Monarch wings and wall claws. Celeste borrows not just the dash, but the tension of chaining jumps across spike-lined corridors. Yacht Club's Shovel Knight kneels at the X-Buster altar when its downward shovel pogo riffs on precise hitboxes. Weapon-charged tiers forecast Capcom's own Devil May Cry style Switch escapades, where Dante rotates arsenals mid-combo, the variable stage geometry paved roads for Resident Evil 2's evolving RPD and Ocarina of Time's child-adult world pivot. Even the mood shift, from cartoon villainy to existential AI dread, foreshadows Metal Gear Solid's soldiers as disposable tools pathos that hit consoles 4 years later. Sequels sprouted yearly. X2 delivered a wireframe boss reveal thanks to Capcom's C4 chip. X3 offered multiple ride armors and playable Zero cameos. X4 on PlayStation pushed anime cutscenes. Yet purists often crown X1 the apex because later entries either overloaded gimmicks or lost sprite crispness to early 32-bit textures. Speedrunners agree. Anti-Percent Records flirt under 34 minutes, exploiting dash storage tricks and quick kill patterns codified by the TAS tool-assisted speedrun community. Outside speedrun circles, X lives in merchandise, vinyl soundtrack pressings, and collector auctions where loose carts hover near triple-digit USD. Partly nostalgia, partly practical, the early North American print run got overshadowed by Donkey Kong Country that same holiday, making pristine copies rarer than Launch Octopus without arms. The game's presence in the Mega Man X Legacy Collection, 2018, ensures new players can feel the dash urgency without hunting CRTs, though purists still debate input lag differences down to frames. Perhaps the most telling legacy, designers still hide absurd crossover moves in unrelated games. Ori and the Will of the Wisps contains a Kamehameha-esque spirit wave. Axiom Verge channels Metroid Screw Attack homage. All owe spiritual debt to Doctor. Light's GI-wearing cameo, closing paragraph plus score. So where does this dash-powered odyssey land on the spectrum from quirky outlier to sacred text? It gleefully straddles both. It's bizarre. A robot armadillo mining cart ride feels like a Hot Wheels Dungeon Master's daydream, yet classic because its control scheme became the lingua franca of modern 2D action. Overhyped? Only if you consider breathing overrated. Underrated, absolutely, by anyone born post-Halo who hasn't felt the SNES controller vibrate, metaphorically, when Storm Tornado devours half a boss's life bar. Most importantly, it's indispensable. The Rosetta Stone for reading today's precision platformers. Final score, 9.5 out of 10. That extra half point reserved for the Hadouken, because any game that turns stage mastery into a secret fighting game cameo deserves trophy room real estate.